Hello, hello. It's great to see you all. And yes, I am live today. I told you I wouldn't be because I thought I'd be traveling, but if you saw the weather, you wouldn't be traveling either. So welcome everybody. Great to see you. Great to see you. I've got a fun show for you today. So first, I have a very special guest for those of you that watch football. You don't want to miss this, okay? And also, what monster machine am I using, Chris? Today I'm going to be using the Luminaire, and I actually snagged, because I thought I was traveling, I snagged an episode out of there. We've all been talking about embroidery lately. Some of the stuff you guys have been posting, I absolutely love. Helen, that shirt turned out amazing. I haven't had time to go in and make comments for everyone that have been posting the beautiful embroidery. Last week, you saw Susie did some embroidery. So I found a great episode that would kind of guide you through. I know a lot of you have the Luminaire or other Brother machines. Full disclosure, I'm a Brother ambassador. But a lot of times you don't think of putting other designs together. Now, the designs I created for the Avenir are huge, but you can also piece together other designs to create something cool. So I'm going to give you some tips for embroidering on tulle, show you how to use your machine a little bit. But first, I have to share with you my football rundown with my nephew, Austin. You don't want to miss this. And it's so great to see you all. Yes, make sure that there's no tech issues lately. Like right when I turned the computer on, it had to do an update. So I apologize for being a few minutes tardy. But, you know, that's just how it works. All right. Anything else? And also, I saw there's a ton of you joining the Fashion Sewing Club. We have got some great things planned in there. So if you want more info on that, you can leave a note below. All right, you ready, guys? You got to give a warm welcome to my nephew. This was our interview yesterday. It is so cute. And just full disclosure, he didn't have any notes. No notes. He remembers everything. He knows every player, every play. And I had to share this because we got a big game coming up this weekend. So here you go. All right, Wolfpack, I've got my nephew here who is a huge Bears fan. And the last few weeks, the Bears have lost and then they won, and it was always in the last few minutes. So I have to call him to get the rundown on the plays of what's happening. And so we have one more game coming up this week. I want you to meet my nephew, Austin. You know his brothers, Cody and Colin, who have been on the live show before. Austin, join us, and I want to know your opinion about the Bears. Hey, Austin, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. How was school today?
It was good. I mean, we had no homework, so.
That's a bonus day. So I know you're a huge Bears fan, and I've called you the last few weeks to find out what's happening because I might as well just watch the last quarter of the game, really.
Yeah, the Bears have been a fourth quarter, overtime, third quarter comeback team basically the whole year. But at least they're winning a lot of games, so that's good.
A couple weeks ago, the Bears were playing the Lions. I called you that night because they were so close, and they ended up losing at the very last minute. What the heck happened?
So the Bears, they were down about 2 touchdowns. They came back. They scored another touchdown the fourth quarter, and then the Lions got the ball back. They got like a 30-yard return, made a good pass, and then with about 2 seconds left, they made the game-winning field goal.
So, Bears lost.
Yeah, sadly, yeah.
All right, okay. So they lost against the Lions, and I thought that was it for them, but that's how much I know about football because last weekend they won. What happened in that game?
Yes, they gladly won this week, and it was a fourth quarter comeback against the Packers' first round playoffs. Basically a third and fourth quarter comeback because at the end of the third quarter, they made a field goal, making it 9-24, and then they stopped the Packers on defense. And they scored another touchdown on offense. And then they got the ball back without the Packers scoring any points again. 2 times in a row they got to stop. And then they went down and scored the game-winning touchdown in the fourth quarter.
There is like the best rundown. I don't know how you remember all of this. Who's your favorite player on there?
Probably DJ Moore or Caleb Williams.
So we got 2. So this weekend they got a big game coming up. Who are they playing?
The LA Rams.
Oh, they're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, they're probably the first or second team. Either the Seahawks are the first or the Rams are first, and we got to verse them in the second round of playoffs. So.
Okay, so if you were to give any advice to the Chicago Bears on how to win, what would you give them?
On first down, run it. Second down, if you get a good run, maybe 5-7 yards, 6 yards, maybe try to take a shot downfield. And if it doesn't, then do a little short pass to Colston Loveland or a little comeback route to DJ Moore. I think that'll work to get a first down, and then keep repeating that. Do a little trick plays, but not all trick plays, and just get the ball downfield.
Okay, so if they are at the end of the game, if it's like the last 2 weeks where they're within 1 touchdown, what would you give advice at the very end if they're behind by 1?
If they're behind by 1 with around a minute left, that's what the Bears are kind of known for this season, to get down there, get a field goal or score a touchdown, and then they'll win the game in the fourth quarter. That's how basically all their games have been, the fourth quarter or overtime.
That's good. So you probably don't remember this. This probably ages me a little bit, but I remember being a little kid and the Bears won, and my dad, your grandpa, played over and over and over the Bears Super Bowl Shuffle. Have you ever seen that?
I haven't seen the Bears Super Bowl Shuffle, but I've heard a lot about the game, and I know a lot about the game, like Devin Hester return touchdown, and yeah, Devin Hester first play, opening kickoff, touchdown.
All right, Austin, this is a good recap on the game, so I will check in with you next week, especially if they win, to get your tips on if they're going to win the next week. Who's your second favorite team, or Bears it?
Bears are my first favorite team. I don't have a second favorite team.
All right, sounds good. Hey, thanks, bud.
Bye.
Okay, is that the cutest ever? He has no notes. And in fact, I was talking about the Super Bowl Shuffle from, I think that'd be the 80s. Remember that one? Oh, yes. If you were alive, then you remember it. He's talking about another one when the Bears won. I had to look it up, and he had that totally accurate. No notes. I didn't tell him anything I was going to ask him. Austin, high five to you. I saw someone said you need to send that to the Bears. I think we should. You know what? It was the 80s, wasn't it? I know, because I said, okay, now how could they win? And he kept saying the same thing. He's like, do some trick plays, but not too many, not too many. So I just call him at the end of the game, and he gives me the whole rundown. Yes, with the fridge. Do you remember the Super Bowl Shuffle with the fridge? Yeah. And yes, he does play football. He's a very good athlete. So I don't know how he has time to watch all this, but Austin, high five to you. And we will look forward to seeing you next week for the commentary. Hopefully the Bears win. Our friend Reen over here from Reen Wilcoxon from Embroidery Garden says, go Bears. All right. So I have more for you because I thought I was traveling. So I pre-recorded a lot of stuff to have it all ready. Oh, I hope they do win the Super Bowl. We need another Super Bowl Shuffle, right? I know. So thank you, Wolfpack. Make sure that you like the video so Austin knows that you like him. Give him the big thumbs up. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe. You won't miss his rundown for it next week. So, all right, I have another one for you. Let me take this. So this one's from the Luminaire. So I know a lot of you have Brother machines. Maybe you have other machines. I don't know. But if you have the Luminaire, there was a period of time that Brother gave the Luminaire Masterclass for free. You can still purchase the Masterclass from a dealer. You can email me for information on that. But I snagged a class out of there, just like I did yesterday. If you missed yesterday's Brother live show, I snagged a couple episodes out of the Avenir, and the serger, just because they were great tutorials. I didn't give the whole thing away, just part of it. But this one is about moving designs around, thinking outside the box a little bit. So let me grab this, and I am live today, so leave your comments in the chat and be sure to give me a thumbs up and a like for Austin. So when he shows all of his friends, he's got a ton of likes. And yes, we should send this to the Bears. I'm thinking so. And hi from Michigan. Cold, cold, windy, and nasty. All right, here we go. So here is the next presentation I have for you. Let me just grab this. Where did it go? It's here. Too many files open. Here we go. All right. Enjoy. I'll be in the comments and I'll see you in a second. Lesson, I'm going to show you how to embroider lace. Lace can be used for so many things, from embellishing garments, home dec, gifts, weddings, even creating your own fabric. So let me give you a few ideas to inspire you. After you embroider it, you can trim away the tulle, attach it to pockets on your jeans, the hem. Here's a leftover piece of lace from my jacket. You can actually see the tulle fabric. Once I trim that away, I can attach it to a jacket. Great way to embellish. You can embroider your own fabric, which I've done here. All of this was embroidered on tulle, and if I just gently pull it away, that's all tulle fabric, and I've attached that to the top of satin. You could also do this for pillows and home dec. Very easy to do, and it takes a regular piece of fabric and makes it look very expensive. This is a dress I made, and I embroidered the sleeve. This is on tulle fabric. This is what I call my invisible tattoos. Again, this would also be a great way to embellish a pillow or something for a gift. Here's another dress that I used tulle for the sleeves after they were embroidered. And regardless if you're sewing from scratch or refashioning, changing a sleeve out with embroidered tulle is a great way to update your outfit. And something real simple to do is to embellish the front of your shirt with a little bit of lace, or just a little bit at the bottom of your jeans. Tulle fabric and wash away stabilizer are the two main things you'll need for embroidering lace. Tulle comes in many different colors and textures. So if you're going to use this for a garment, make sure it's soft to the skin, might even have a little stretch. And the ones that are a little stiffer with sparkles are great for home dec and gifts. I carry both of these on my website, and I left you a discount below. Now let's take a closer look at the supplies. All right, in this lesson I'm going to be embellishing sleeves with embroidery. So you need tulle fabric, and because this is going to be for a garment, make sure that the tulle is soft to the touch. This has a light stretch, which really makes it comfortable to wear. And if you can notice the weave on this, you won't be able to see it, but it's really tight. Now, if you picked up a piece of tulle and it has an open weave where it's even larger than this and a little bit rough, that would not be good for garments, but it still works for home dec projects. So you need tulle in whatever color you want. I have embroidery thread. I'm going to be making a sleeve, so I have my sleeve pattern, but you don't cut the fabric out first. First we're going to embroider it, and then we cut out the sleeve. As far as embroidery stabilizer, I have my own brand of Sew and Wash, which you can find on my website. There's a discount below. Your brother dealer will also have different kinds of Sew and Wash. So let me just talk about the stabilizer. It feels like fabric. It's not adhesive on either side. And after you embroider, you rinse away, and it disappears. And all you're left with is your fabric with embroidery. Because I'm going to be embroidering a sleeve, I'm going to use the largest hoop. Alright, so I have one layer of tulle fabric here. I also want to make sure that I have enough width to be able to cut a sleeve when I'm finished. And depending if you're adding embroidery everywhere, you might be moving your hoop around. I'm just going to embroider out the outside section of my sleeve, so this will be fine. And you'll also want to cut a piece of stabilizer that's going to be large enough for where you're going to be embroidering your sleeve in case you move it up and down. That way you don't have to cut a whole new piece. So let's see, I'll just give myself just a little bit extra here. So I've layered my stabilizer. Now place your tulle on top of that. If you're going to embroider an entire sleeve, you want to make sure you have plenty of room to move this around. So if I go ahead and embroider all of up to here, it won't all fit in the hoop. So then once I do this one part of embroidery, I will be rehooping and just sliding this down to this edge here, if that makes sense. So one piece of fabric, one piece of stabilizer, and by moving this in the hoop, I can embroider the entire sleeve. So I'm going to slide this all the way to the end. I'll start at the top part of the sleeve, right here. Make sure you give yourself at least an inch on the outside of the hoop. And tulle fabric can tear really easily, so make sure when you go to hoop this, first off, make sure that this is open. You can use the magnetic hoop if you want. And gingerly slide the stabilizer and the tulle, giving it just a light tug. You just want to feel this fabric and make sure there are no ripples. You can kind of, I don't know if you can see that right there. See, that's not tight enough. You need that tulle to be just a little bit tighter. You don't want any wrinkles in the fabric. Tighten that down. And because this fabric is pretty thin, you might even need to tighten this a little bit more. And you can tighten it by opening it and tightening it. Again, if you move this at all, make sure that the fabric is nice and tight. We're ready to go to the machine. All right, so let's talk about designs that you can use for embroidering tulle. Ideally, you want a low density design, meaning that there's not a lot of stitches in one place because it could rip your fabric. So for example, this design here, that is way too dense to put on tulle fabric. Number one, it would make the fabric stiff, and number two, it could potentially rip the fabric. So here's another one, that's pretty dense as well. Now I know that there's areas in here where you can change the density, but that's a lot of stitches very close together. One thing, tulle fabric is not very expensive, so you might want to just test a design and just test and see how far you can go with these dense designs. So I'm going to scroll through here. Something like this would look great. Very loose weave. There's another, that one would be fine. But you can go a little denser than that. So let me just show you some that I've actually done in the past that I know that work. So this design here, this is number 9 under category 3. This one here would look great on tulle. It's not too dense. Also, it's one color, which looks great. I've actually tested this design here on tulle, and it was a little bit tight as far as keeping the fabric stiff, but it worked. I'll bring it a little closer, and you can see that's pretty dense. So the flowers definitely made the fabric a little stiffer, but I used it on a neckline, so it was fine. This one here would be fine as well. I've done this one on sleeves, and this looked wonderful. This design here I tried on tulle, and it looked great. The only problem is if you're going to use it on something that's not going to be fitted. So this would look great on a sleeve or tight on a top, but if you're going to have it somewhere where it's the fabric's really loose, it can tend to curl. So just keep that in mind. This would look great on a pillow, and that would be fine for embroidering on tulle. So with this, all of these are good options. And again, like I mentioned, just test a design if you're really curious, and worst case, it doesn't work, and you can move on to another one. Some of these flowers look really nice, but these here, those are pretty dense. So number one, it would make your fabric curl a little bit, and I would probably not go that route. So scroll through your designs and choose something. It could be large that takes up the whole sleeve, or a couple small designs that you can add together. So this is design under section 5, design number 008. I'm going to go ahead and rotate that. So if this was at the top of the shoulder, picture that. Now as you're rotating, if for some reason your design, your red box is outside of the area where your hoop is and you try to turn it some more, it's going to tell you you can't edit that anymore. So just move it to the center where the red box is within the hoop area. I think two of these would look great on a sleeve. But first I want to change my colors. Alright, so I see that there's 2 colors here. So I can either do random, and click Auto. See what some of this looks like. Oh, that one's pretty. Or another option is to click on here. If I know what colors I want to use, I can click on teal and change the color. What color do I want that one to be? Maybe let's go with silver. And I can click on the black, and maybe I want red or pink. Which one? And it's a great way to see what this is going to look like on here. Green and navy. Maybe I'll change that to green. This one to navy. That looks pretty rich. All right, so navy and lime green is what I'm going to choose. Click OK. And you have to picture this is where your sleeve is going to go if this was down the center. And let's go ahead and duplicate that. Bring this down a little bit. Flip it around. So just continue to rotate your designs, move them around until you find something that looks good. And I can still continue to move these. I think this would look amazing on a sleeve. I think we're getting there. What you can do here is, why don't we group these together? You can either do it this way, where you've grouped everything. Move this to the center position. Click OK. All right, now that the design is grouped, I can click right here, and it gives you more options. If you wanted to, again, if you were going to not use this for sleeves and you wanted this for a home deck or on a pillow, you could add this right here, and that will turn this into an applique. And on tulle fabric, you can actually do an entire applique and trim very closely on the tulle fabric around this when you're finished, and it looks great. You can hand stitch it onto something or even use that as a decoration itself. But because I'm using this on sleeves, I don't need that, so I'm going to click undo. All right, so the next step, after we click on embroidery, it tells me that this is the order it's going to embroider in. I can click on layout. And when I do that, it will embroider all of the green first and then all of the blue. It just saves having to change threads. Let's talk about thread. Because the sleeves you can see through, I like to have the bobbin thread the same color as the upper thread. So I'm going to wind my bobbin with the same green that I'm going to be using in the top. All right, let's glide on our hoop. Now if you're using a larger piece of fabric, a larger piece of tulle, just make sure that none of it is tucked under the hoop. You want to make sure it's all free from the hoop, from the embroidery area, so you don't accidentally embroider it underneath. Trust me, I've done that before. And it doesn't turn out well. Now because I'm embroidering a sleeve, I'm going to slide my sleeve on here just as a guide to figure out placement for this design. So I'm not going to leave this on here. Just for now, I'm going to use the projector to see where my design is going to go so I can center it, number one, on the sleeve and see what it's going to look like. So click on projector. And I can see where the design is going to fall. So I've lined up the center of my sleeve with the center of the hoop. Back over here, I'm going to slide my box up because I know this will be the top part of my sleeve. So depending on what you're using your embroidery for, I noticed that, hey, you know what? I might be able to slide this design up a little bit. It'll still fit in the sleeve cap. I can change the background if I want, whatever's easier to see. And let's move our design up as high as we can. Move the box, and I can see the section here would be at the top of the sleeve, and that fits within my sleeve cap just great. So if you were using a larger design, and let's just say that the pattern you're trying to fit in you have this laid out and you notice it's going off the edge of where your pattern's going to be, then you can move it around to make sure it's in the right spot. So I'm lining up my design to go right down the center of my sleeve. All right, click on OK. Press your foot down. I'm muted. Sorry. Everyone's gonna be like, I can't hear you. Don't worry. Isn't that beautiful? So what I did here is I added the 2 different designs. And then down below, those are 2 more designs. This is one of the swirls and that's one of the swirls. Mirror image them, move them around so they could match. See? Adjusted the size a little bit. And this area here is using the border function where I chose one of the designs that looks, well, kind of like a little swirl edge, and added a bunch of them in a row. And so it was 3 different steps for embroidery. I think it was a total of 2 hoopings though with the big hoop. So again, this was using the Brother Luminaire. You could do this on the Avenir. You could do the same process on, let's see. Actually, you could do this on a lot of the Brother machines. The projector though is the Luminaire and the Avenir. So you could also, if you have the still air, you can take a photo with my Design Snap app. I don't know anything about the other machines. As you know, I always give reference to the Brother, but check your machine because I also, depending on what machine you have, do you have color sort or color shuffle? I saw, who just said on here they tried color shuffle this morning for the first time. I love this. Oh, that would work great for Mardi Gras. You're right. I love that. Oh, thanks. And you know, if you're in those master classes, I absolutely love putting these together for Brother because there are so many things on the machines that they can do that probably you've never even checked out. Like in the Avenir class, the biggest comment I got was one of the first lessons was where to put everything in the little box they give you. Some people didn't realize there's little placements at the bottom for each foot. Like it's actually supposed to be that way. It's fun. Yeah. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay, so I've got your questions. Let me bring them up here. I see a few more coming up. Phyllis, how are you? You haven't left on your cruise yet. Soon. Do the stitches have to cross one another so when you remove the stabilizer, the design does not fall apart? No, because this is not freestanding lace. This is embroidering on tulle. So the whole piece of tulle, if I was doing it for a sleeve, or if I was doing it for trim on a jacket, you would want to leave the tulle in between the pieces to keep them together. Make sense? But if you're doing freestanding lace, that's a whole different thing. But because you have that thin piece of tulle, which is my absolute favorite way to design my own trim and to design things for jackets, garments, sleeves, you name it. Thanks, Heidi. All right, what else? I saw a few other questions roll in here. And by the way, y'all, thank you for the thumbs up for Austin. He's going to love this. I will take that video separately and drop it in again. So if you have friends that play football, you can share it with them. Or you can share this one and they can just watch the beginning. Oh, thanks, Janet. Chris said she's tried the embroidery, but not into a garment. Elsa said she needs more practice. The good thing is the tool is not very expensive. The stabilizer is, but not the tool. All right, I had a few more questions here. Chris, what weight thread and would variegated work? You know, I just use regular standard embroidery thread. I have my collection I did with Brother, which was the Pacesetter collection. It's a polyester thread. It's beautiful. The shine on it's gorgeous. I want to say, is it 40 weight? You know what? I haven't looked at it for a while. So I want to say it's 40 weight though. And then if you're going to see the backside, I will match the bobbin thread. But if you're not, then I just use standard white or black pre-wound bobbins for my machines, regardless if I'm using the Luminaire, the Avenir, or the multi-needle. Those are different bobbins, of course, but I either use white or black on those. Oh, Jody, that is my goal in 2026 is to design some more designs, not just for the Avenir, but for the Wolfpack, because we love to embroider garments, right? And I also have some new designs that are in Artspira. For those of you that have a Brother machine, it could be on a 4x4 hoop or 5x7. So you don't want to miss those. There's, let's see, 3 floral ones that I designed kind of for home deck. Could be on the corner of jackets, stuff like that. And I also designed 3 fish. Of course there's going to be 3 fish. Hold on, let me find it. I've got it in here. Now, would you put the fish on garments? Well, I would, but I really designed most of these more for home deck, except for the floral one. Let me find it. I'll show it to you. If you go into Artspira, the app, and let me just look up Angela Wolf. You can just type in Angela, and this stuff will come up, and you can see. So see this Floral Delight one at the top? Is it kind of focusing on me? There you go. That one I thought would be really cool on jeans. And here's some of my flower or my fish. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, this I thought would be great on home deck. And this would be the corner. Those floral ones, the Floral Delight. And also I thought that this would look really cool on the bottom of a sleeve or the corner of a jacket. So I kind of designed them for garments and home deck. But the fish, I gotta say, this fish right here would look really cool, a couple of them going down a sleeve. So my goal is to have more, but these are in the Artspira. These are some of their designer. They're not free. They're I think they're like close to $6 or $5.59 a piece. But you can send them right to your Brother machine. So that's what I was working on last year. 2026, I've got a lot of embroidery planned, Jody, so stay tuned. All right, I had a few more questions that came up here. I want to make sure I didn't miss them. Lynn, does this work with magnetic hoops? Yes, I love magnetic hoops. I actually use Brother magnetic hoops because they're so simple to use, and the magnets can come off. You can slide the fabric around a little bit. I absolutely love the magnetic hoops. So yes, and that's a very easy way to get your tool to stay in place. Now, one quick tip for you. If you're using tulle with stabilizer, I don't use the sticky back wash away with tulle. The tulle's too thin and sheer, and you'll gum up your needle. Even if you're using the really good needles that don't gum up, it's just too much. Now with mesh, if I were to embroider this or my mesh sleeves that you see me wear often, then sometimes I do use the sticky back. So that's when that comes in handy. If you're having problems with your tool not laying flat on your standard wash away, use some adhesive, the temporary adhesive spray. I use 505. Whatever brand you got is fine. Just spray the stabilizer, stick the tool on there, and then you can hoop it. I don't usually, sometimes I'll float the tool if I'm using the multi-needle, but most of the time I'll just go ahead and hoop it. You just have to be careful because it's very, very fragile and it will rip. Hey, Joan, great to see you. All right, am I missing anything else? Lisa said she's in serger mode today. Did you see my video yesterday showing how to do a blind hem on the serger? That was on Brother's live show yesterday, so you don't want to miss that. And if I haven't missed any others, it is nylon tulle, yes. If you look at the label, it'll say bridal tulle. I have about 4 colors on my website. I'm going to order a few more, but you know the colors I always use are black, cream, white. Sometimes I'll get crazy and use like a navy blue or something, but that's about it. That's it, Angie. Make sure the embroidery is not too dense because it will rip. Or, you know what else it'll do? It'll be so hard. Your tool's so soft, and then your design's so hard. Well, it would look like, well, I don't know, like you got patches on. Besides clothing and pillows, what other suggestions do you have for projects with tulle? Oh, did you see I've got a photo for you. Hold on, let me bring it up. It's on my blog post. I did a blog post for this. Oops, sorry. Let me find the picture. Okay, I just downloaded it yesterday. I must have known you were going to ask this. So hold on. This. If it'll open. Hold on. Here you go. No, not that. This. Look at how cute this is. I know. And this was a super, super easy project. Super easy project. And so this was using well, I showed this on one of our lives recently, maybe a few months ago. And then something happened. I kicked the cord or something on the Avenir and had an issue. But either way, this is what I was trying to show you all, that if you do a beautiful monogram on tulle, you can wrap it on candles, you can put it on vases. It makes great gifts. And if you're embroidering for a business, it's a great way to make a little bit of money too. So that's one. Hi, Renee. Oh, thanks, Lorraine. Glenda, would you use matching bobbins for variegated thread? Only if you're going to see the back of the thread. I mean, the back of the design. Only if you're going to see the back of the design, then I would probably use a matching color. But if you're not going to see the back, I usually just pick a white or a black, whatever is going to look the nicest on. I mean, if I'm using white tulle, I'll use white. If I'm using black tulle, I'll use black. That's a good question. So I saw somebody the other day, because I see a lot of the comments in a lot of the groups, and someone was using the 10 needle. No, I think they were using the Brother 6 needle. I don't remember. They were using a multi-needle, and they were having issues of the bobbin thread coming to the top. And the first thing I could think of was there is a little design on the 10 needle. And when I get back to my studio, I'll post a photo and a blog post of it. Alexis actually showed me this. You can embroider that. It's like little lines. Have you seen it on your multi-needle? And when you embroider that, there's actually a standard that if the thread is coming up on any of those, you'll know which color it is, and you'll know which way to turn your tension knobs. So that's one big thing. I think we need a few lessons on that. So I will make sure I add that to the to-do list for those that have a multi-needle. But if your bobbin thread is coming to the top, it is a tension issue usually, if you have a good machine. Lisa, trying to find some good clothing fabric. Ooh, okay, Vogue Fabrics is one of my favorites. You've got Mood. I have fabric on my website. I usually have more in the summer when I'm around more to do the shipping, but I have a lot of knits on mine because I like to use rayon knits. But Vogue Fabrics is a good one. They're out of Chicago. If you get a chance, check their website out. Ooh, so Francie's going to try fish on tulle. You got to share a photo with me. I would love it. Can you use tulle for freestanding butterflies? You won't need to, because if you have a freestanding, so here's the difference. Freestanding lace, which is an embroidery design, has an open weave on it. Well, not open. Freestanding lace is connected, I should say. If you're using tulle, that's when you're using a design that's not connected. So if you're using a freestanding lace design, which is designed to be embroidered by itself, wash away the stabilizer, and it stays together, you don't need tulle. But you can use it if you want. Here's an idea for you. If you're doing the freestanding lace, the butterflies, you could have a really cool colored tulle, like maybe a bright blue or something like that. And then when you're doing the freestanding lace, it would actually give glimmer to the wings. That's kind of a good idea. I never even would have thought about that. So actually, Susie, that's a great idea. Oh, thanks, Jan. Jody, let's see. Your Dream Machine does not have Wi-Fi, so it cannot be sent there. Because I don't think Art Spiro works with your Dream. At least as far as I know. Have you already talked about embroidering on jeans? No, but that'll be a next topic. We should add that to the next list. Oh yeah, cut work are beautiful. Okay, I'll put it on the list, Marianne. Although, I love the cut work. A lot of times I use the tulle to make it look like cut work. Who here has the old, well, it's not old, but they used to have a cut work kit for the multi-needle. I don't think they sell it still for Brother, but it looks very cool. But yes, applique. Yep, it's perfect for applique. Perfect. Yeah, and I actually have, let's see if I can bring this up. I've got another photo for you. I added this to a blog post for you, so you'll be able to catch this later as well. But did you see this design? Here. This is all tulle. Well, not all, but my sleeves right here, that's embroidery. That's about as dense as I would go. And then the sleeves on the wedding dress. And then the rest of this is just all embroidered. But isn't that gorgeous? And then I have another one for you. Hold on, I got another one. I just added these. You'll see them on the blog post, and I will put a link in the description on Facebook and YouTube for them. So here is, this one turned out really cute. This is my Delilah pattern. There you go. Isn't that fun? Now, if you've watched my live shows, you probably watched me cut off the bottom of those sleeves because I couldn't stand it anymore. They're very cool, right? But I wanted to wear this with jeans, and it was too much. But look at how beautiful that is. Now, those are my embroidery designs. They work in any machine. I left links on the blog post. Why don't I bring that up for you so you can see it? I know that a lot of you were looking for schedules and stuff last year, so there was a little glitch on the website, but it should be working now. So let me bring you up here. Here you go. Maybe. Here you go. So here is the site. And so if you're on here, scroll down. Here is the video from today. There's social media. I still have some more to add, but it's at least the page is working. But if you go here at the top on live shows, and when you're here, that you can quickly get to the Fashion Sewing Club, sign up for the newsletter, because I am starting in 2026 to send out a newsletter at the beginning of the week with all the live shows. But if you have a Google Calendar, you can add the Google Calendar to your calendar. This is the Angela Wolf live show and events. So right now we're right here. If you're joining me at Tops next week, there's those events in Florida. I would love to see you there, and I'm sure you would love to be in Florida too. So we've got 3 Tops events next week, and we have another one in Boca on the 28th. And you can just scan the calendar if there's anything special you want to do. Here's another Tops event in Lakeland, and actually there's 2 more events here I need to add there. But there's the Brother live shows. But if you scroll down a little bit, here's 402 behind the scenes embroidering on tulle. And if you look down here, this is where I added a little descriptions for you. There's the dress that I did for Brother. That was for the Luminaire. Yeah. And then here are some of the stabilizers I use as a reference. I forgot to add a coupon code, but I will. Fashion Sewing Club, you have your coupon code. There's the candles. And also here are some of the embroidery collections that I have. There's the 10% off coupon code. I forgot to give you the code, so I'll drop it in there right after. But and then down here are some more of the embroidery collections. And those work on any machine. Those are something that I did in collaboration with Dime a couple years ago. Oh, hey, Victoria, thanks. Lisa, Mood Fabrics will give you swatches. So will Vogue Fabrics. So will Vogue Fabrics. And I do as well. If you email in advance, I can send swatches. All right, Heidi, what do you have for me? I was wondering if I could add thread brands to the colors on the machines. Yeah, so on a Brother machine, there is in the settings, I think they already have it pre-programmed, though. I don't think you can actually add, but they have quite a few listed, and you can choose which one it's referencing. Does that make sense? I will double check. I don't think you can add your own. I'm thinking right now, but I'll double check. But I know they have quite a few in there. I've had a lot of people email certain brands that they asked me to ask Brother to include. So I will try to do that too. Oh, that's a good idea for the tool. Janet says, put it around toilet paper for the holidays. Janet, that's a great idea, because I saw the Wolfpack. You were all embroidering toilet paper this fall. I was dying laughing. It's so funny. Did you ever hear that story? So now, Jan, the one you gave me from Christmas, I have saved, and I don't have it in the bathroom. But years ago, I had purchased one that had little angels on it on toilet paper. Yeah, it was supposed to be decorative. And I had it in the bathroom. We had a Christmas party, and I have no idea who did it, and nobody's ever confessed. But they actually took the embroidery off the toilet paper, used the toilet paper, and then placed it back on there. The embroidery. I like the idea of tulle because you can wrap it around and take it off. Good idea. Good idea. Saves the hassle. Oh my gosh. Hey, Jan. I was just talking about you. Your toilet paper's safe. Oh. And yes, Jan makes the cutest toilet paper rolls. They are absolutely hilarious. If you ever see what she works on, she's got the cutest phrases and the cutest designs. So the tool would actually solve the problem in moving it to the next one. All right, Mylar under some would be less dense. Mylar is very less dense, but the tool I use is not dense at all. But Mylar would be a good one, Jody. Oh, Jody, yeah, I don't think the Dream Machine does. But some of the others, or if you're in my studio, you can come and embroider with me. All right, what else do you got? Hear the wind out there? Holy moly, there is quite the storm. The embroidery looks dense on the sleeves. Did it not stretch out? So actually the sleeves are you talking about for this one here? No, not this one. This one? That's pretty dense, but I wouldn't go more dense than that. And also, you don't want the sleeves, you don't want them to stretch. Like the tool might stretch a little bit, but you really want it to fit snugly to your arms. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. All right, oh, well, I see you in Lakeland? Yay, it's going to be so fun. All right. I think I got everyone. So I just have one job for you today. If you missed the beginning of the show, I'm going to ask a favor of you and watch the beginning again, share it with all your football friends, because I appreciated Austin coming on. He did such a good job. He had 0 notes and he had 0 idea what I was going to ask him for, but I knew he was so talented on this, so I had to bring him up. So if you're on YouTube, subscribe. The next few weeks, I'm traveling a lot. We're going to Florida to the Tops events, but I still will have live shows for you. So if you subscribe on YouTube and you follow on Facebook, you'll never miss a live show. And go to angelawolf.com. Sign up for the newsletter because I am going to send an email at the beginning of every week. I've made it twice now. So 2 out of 2 weeks, I'm doing pretty good. And that way you will you won't miss the live shows. You won't be wondering. There's one change for tomorrow. And that is Emily's live show. I think in the newsletter I posted it was at 1:30 p.m. It's at noon Eastern. And eventually I will be moving my show to noon as well. So then you can just remember noon Eastern, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Super easy to remember. And also Emily's, the link that you have for Emily's right now, as soon as I hang up here, I'll be changing it because we had to pre-record with the weather and travel schedules getting screwed up with the weather. So the link that you have now will be disappearing and a new one will be showing up in about 30 minutes. So I just want to give you that. And you don't want to miss her show on Brother. It was so fun. She actually designed the cutest pants for Rose, and they were sweatpants that had a cuff, and she turned them instead into kind of a wide leg bell pant. Very cute. A lot of easy stuff to do for kids. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm glad you're liking the newsletters. They're short and brief. I just kind of give you a rundown of the live events. I hope to see you at Tops next week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're going to be up in Port Charlotte. And let me look up the ones just to make sure. I think Fort Myers. Now I got to look myself. Hey, thanks, guys. This is where we'll be. Wynn and I will both be there. So it's a meet and greet. It's from 12 to 3. So just pop in. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'll have samples for you to go to like touch and feel and see. Sarasota is the 22nd. Port Charlotte is the 23rd. And Fort Myers is the 24th. 4th. So come to Florida next week. I look forward to seeing you. And if you're like me, you want to get out of this crazy weather anyways. So I will see you then. All right, everyone, have a great day. I will see you tomorrow on the Brother Live Show. If not, leave me a note, and please share the video of Austin. He will love it. And I will also take it out of this. I will be posting it on its own so you guys can see it. I'll probably do it shortly after this. So if you want to share that video with your friends, I would love it, because I would love for him to feel like he did a great job, because he did. I was blown away. And honestly, this is how the phone calls go. I'll call him at the end of the game or after the game, and he gives me a rundown of the whole game. I don't know how he can remember this, but he does, and he knows every player. So Bears, I hope you win this weekend, because we got to have Austin on again. Otherwise, he's going to be crying. Well, not literally. All right, everyone. Take care, and I will talk to you soon. Happy sewing.